Hi, my name is Ellie. I'm 14 years old. I have a story to tell you. It happened that I had feelings for a boy from my school. He was very handsome. His name was Andrew. All the girls in my class were crazy about him. No wonder, he was really cool. So I started thinking about how to get his attention and win his heart. I decided to ask my grandmother how she had met my grandfather. She laughed and said it was an amazing story that she had fallen in love with my grandfather at first sight, and he paid absolutely no attention to her. So she decided to use magic. She had an ancient book of spells and potions, and there she found an old recipe for a love elixir. Whether it works or not, my grandfather fell in love with my grandmother, and they have been together for over 50 years. I asked my grandmother where the book was now. She said it was somewhere on the bookshelf among other books. She also told me not to bother with it and to go to do my homework. But I knew it could work. I waited until late in the evening, and when everyone had gone to bed, I started searching the bookshelf. There was a lot of stuff there, but eventually I found what I was looking for. The book was very heavy and truly very old, and it smelled absolutely terrible. But what can you do? Love requires sacrifice. I carried it to my room and began searching for the right spell. There were all kinds of strange and even ridiculous incantations. How to become invisible, a flight potion. Those were still somewhat reasonable, but there were some outright bizarre things. For example, how to grow thorns on your hands. Can you imagine who would ever need that? Or a potion to turn yourself into slime? After a whole hour of searching, I finally found what I needed. It was a love elixir, exactly what I needed. Now I had to check what ingredients were required. Frog's blood, oh how disgusting, rice flour, wheat, sprouts. I probably won't name all the ingredients so the recipe doesn't end up all over the internet. This stuff is dangerous, a love potion, especially after what happened next. But let me tell it in order. There were no problems with the ingredients, except that the frog's blood was tricky. I had no idea where to get it, so I decided that cherry juice would do the job just fine. And no frog would be harmed because of me. The next thing that I had to do is just to simmer it all on low heat for 6 hours. Can you imagine? But what would my parents say? I decided to be sneaky and told them that it was a school assignment to prepare a soup for homework, and that I absolutely had to make it by myself. To be fair, Mom and Dad believed me, but my grandmother just gave me a strange smile. The next day the potion was ready. I poured it into a small bottle and went to school. All that remained was to find the right moment to splash it into Andrew's drink. At the long break, when everyone went to the cafeteria, that perfect moment arrived. He was drinking his juice, having no idea that in a few minutes he would fall hopelessly in love with me. I caught the moment when he turned away from his cup and I just splashed the potion in. Done, I thought, when suddenly Andrew's classmate Dan walked up and said,
Hey, listen, I need to wash down a vitamin, but the drink ran out. Can you help me out?
Sure, I already finished eating, and I don't want any more to drink. Here, take my drink.
Oh no, this. Oh. Dan just drank it to the full and looked at me. Everything went wrong. What's going to happen now? But at that moment, something strange happened. Dan turned green and fainted. Panic broke out. The school nurse came running, and Dan was taken to the hospital. He had suffered severe food poisoning. It was all my fault. I never wanted any of this to happen. I immediately went to the hospital to apologize. He was lying in his room, very weak. I felt terrible. But I just couldn't bring myself to admit that I was the one who had poisoned him. Instead, I began visiting him every day, trying to make up for what I had done. I brought him treats and shared the latest news. And you know, with each passing day, He got better and better. He started making jokes, and we talked more and more, and he turned out to be a really interesting guy. It's strange that I never noticed him before. This went on for almost a month, and on the last day when he was going to come back home, I decided that I could no longer stay silent. I had to tell him the truth. I gathered my courage and told him that I needed to share a secret with him, but he didn't let me to do that.
You want to tell me that you were the one who poisoned me? Huh, yeah, that was awkward.
But how do you know?
Well, I saw you splash something into the drink, and I saw a little vial in your hand with the label Love Potion on it. I have actually been watching for you a long time. I have had feeling for you since first grade, but you never paid any attention to me, so I decided to take a chance.
So we've been dating with Dan for almost 6 months. Whether the love potion actually works or not, I cannot say. But the facts speak for themselves.